Hey, mole gamers, we're back. All right, the topic for discussion today is going to be digital rights management, and E3 pretty much is a good eye opener because look what happened with Microsoft. They tried to pull this whole. Oh, by the way, if you haven't guessed, we're playing Injustice: Gods Among Us. They tried to pull this whole, hey, we're gonna lock stuff down. You can't do this, you can't do that. We control who you can trade your games to. Things like that. And they're sitting there and they thought it was great, but they pretty much got booed out of E3. I mean, Sony made a much better showing, especially when Sony said, oh, hey, here's how you trade your games. There you go. But that's not necessarily what I want to cover for the duration of this play. What I'm actually thinking about more is not just games, but CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays now, all the media that we have, digital rights management. Now, first up, let me take the side of the developers, and I know it's not going to be a popular one with many people out there. Take that, buddy. But yeah, so okay. As a developer, you make money off of, well, developer, artist, whatever you want to call yourself. You make money off of sales. What happens if your product is not selling? You don't make money. You lose money. You basically get screwed. So it's advantageous that you want to make sure that you're actually getting your fair share of the market for whatever it is that you're selling. There's actually a book out there. I know gamers don't generally read much, but hey, find an audiobook version of it. It's called Free. It's by, I want to say Chris Anderson. But it's free, a new market philosophy. And what he basically says is find a way to give away everything. And so what he's saying is like, okay, so when an artist makes an album, like I think it was 9 Inch Nails a while back did this, they said, okay, we're going to make it free, but we're going to sell the concerts, we're going to sell special editions, deep cut tracks that aren't available, things like that. It was a decent idea, and I mean, from them, they got quite a bit out of it, actually. I'm eating dinner here while I'm doing a little bit of playing. And yeah, so anyway, but yeah, his notion was, hey, put ads in it, find ways to subsidize the cost of the title of whatever it is. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense, actually. I mean, if I was in the market, I would do that, because then, hey, I entice people with a limited version of it, and yeah, sell you on something bigger. Besides, with music, the experience is all when you go to the concert. That's what makes music awesome. I think I got, excuse me, I think I kind of got off topic here, but okay, so we're talking about digital rights management. If you're a company, yeah, you want to control it. Okay, let me try and stay on topic this time. You want to control your digital content. You want to control it because you want to make sure that you're getting the money out of it. I mean, think about it this way, okay? And I know someone in the comments down there is going to have that, oh, well, they are big, faceless companies. There are a lot of little developers, little software testers, people like that who work for these big companies, and they need to get paid. I mean, to make the next, Injustice here, to make a game that's this complex, it doesn't take just a couple lines of code. I mean, it's a lot more than what we had with, like, Tetris and Pac-Man. But now, if they have to pay people to write the code for these games, to make these games that everyone loves to play, how are you going to pay them if people are emulating it, if people are not doing anything to support the market? Think also indie developers, because indie developers, you know, indie developers, if they make a game like Castle Crashes was actually a pretty cool one. They make a game like that, and nobody pays for it. I mean, tons of people have played it, but nobody's actually paid for it. What do you think the incentive is for them to go forth and make another game? I mean, people go where the money is, because it's not cheap. It's not cheap, and you got to find a way. You got to find a way to make ends meet. Put food in your family's mouth. These faceless companies have individuals who rely on people to buy these things. So, from a developer standpoint, I can totally see wanting people to absolutely be sure that they're buying this, instead of just like downloading it, emulating it, or getting it some other way in which, hey, I don't get a cut off of it. So I can totally see the point there for digital rights management. But now let's look at it from the gamer side. I mean, you can't trade your used game in. You can't play it if it's not connected. You can't. What are some of the other limitations I've seen or heard of? Can't play it if it's not connected. Can't trade it. Can't sell it. I mean, basically, it's not your title. Even though you paid money for this physical media, them locking it down makes it so it's like you basically don't have. It's not yours. You're screwed for the most part. And yeah, that doesn't seem fair from the gamer standpoint. I mean, everyone will agree on that. It's okay now. What really is a solution? Electronic Arts came out with the online pass thing. So, hey, you want to play our games online? Or was it Midway? Not Midway, WB Mortal Kombat. One of the two came out with it where you essentially had to start... Midway, okay, cool. One of them came out with it where you essentially had to start paying an extra $10 or whatnot just to get the online playability. Excuse me. And online playability is great and everything, but if you're like me and you just play single player, it's no big deal. If you like playing online, though, then it kind of sucks because even though you bought that game for half price at we'll say GameStop or something like that, we buy ours at Guerrilla Games a lot here, so yeah, if you bought it there, I mean, you paid for what you thought was a complete title, and now you're getting screwed off of it. Because you don't have a complete title. You have a limited version, essentially. So, sucks, but yeah. Gotta kind of figure that out, so. So what really is the solution here? I mean, from digital rights standpoint, they want to get paid for the content. They want to get paid for the content that they put money to make. Gamers, we want to get full control over our stuff. What really is a good solution? I think Rocksteady and their downloadable content really was a good idea, though. Excuse me. Rocksteady said, if you buy it brand new, you get in Arkham City the Catwoman stuff. And the Catwoman DLC was great by itself. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Works. I mean, if you'd have to pay an extra $10 just to get that if you didn't buy it new. But hey, Rocksteady's still getting a cut of it. I think comprehensive DLC is a great way to entice gamers to buy it or to continue to support the title. I don't think it should be like Street Fighter versus Tekken, in which case they took in all the content was already there on the disc. The issue is you just had to pay to unlock what was already on the disc. How's this deal with the digital rights management? Because it really is all about the money. If developers can't make money in a gamer series, they're going to stop developing it. And I know tons of people buy stuff. Tons of people buy stuff. So, yeah, eventually you're going to get that poor gamer who can't afford something, is going to have to wait until it goes on the discount rack or whatever. So that's digital rights management for you. I mean, it is all about the money. Now, the other thing I do want to briefly mention is emulation, because emulation is another thing, another concern with digital rights management. Digital distribution, unauthorized distribution, yak yak, yada yada, you know what I'm getting at. And here's what I believe. I'm going to tell you what I believe. Maybe it's a better idea to start out with how it affects first. So for those of you out there who don't know, emulation is essentially you can get an image of a game, basically the code to a game, you can play it on something that's not its original console. So like you can, if you want to download Super Mario Brothers, they have basically software for Windows that will play original Nintendo games and make your computer think it's an original Nintendo. So when you play it on there, it's all the fun, everything just like you were playing it on the Nintendo. The only difference now is that it's the only difference now is that you don't have to sit there blowing out your cartridge and everything just to make sure you can play it. So yeah, it seems cool, but this is illegal because Nintendo has the license to all that stuff, and Nintendo wants to make sure that they're still making their dime off Super Mario Brothers. And I can understand that. Again, this is a developer wanting to make sure that they make money off a product that they came up with. They want to get paid for every copy of that product. I totally understand that. I mean, if I programmed a game, I would want to make sure that I get paid for that game, especially if I'm using that to fund future games. So like with what was it? Super Mario. If Super Mario 3 hadn't taken off, we probably wouldn't have seen a Super Mario World. If Super Mario World hadn't taken off, probably wouldn't have seen Yoshi's Island, Super Mario 64, all the other stuff. I mean, if people didn't buy it, Nintendo probably would have not built some of the other games that they did. So, sounds simple enough, but hey. Now, here's what I personally think. Although I do not emulate, I personally think, hey, it would be a great idea if they would say, okay, a video game that was older than, say, 20 years. Give you a 20-year statute or something like that. I know patents go back 50, but 20-year statute. Say, hey, if the game is older than 20 years, then what we do is we make it public domain so anyone can emulate it, anyone can whatever. So, hey, if you got ROMs from the original Nintendo, great. You can play them. That's legal. Distribute them, play them, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's up to Nintendo, though, if they want to do re-releases. Like, if you look at the original Super Mario Brothers, Mario 1, 2, and 3, and Lost Levels, they re-released those on the Super Nintendo with upgraded 16-bit graphics. And they call it Super Mario All-Stars. And that was a really cool collection. And it's up to Nintendo to take that old stuff and say, hey, we're just going to touch this up, repackage it, maybe put it in 3D, and sell it to a whole new mess of gamers. My personal thoughts on emulation, I mean, hey, I think that's really what they should do. That would be the best way to go. But I'm not in legislation. I don't make the laws, so unfortunately, I'm not the guy who gets to say that. On all this digital rights management, emulation, stuff like that, specifically digital rights management, I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts. So please feel free to comment below, and like, dislike, doesn't matter. Just as long as you rate this video, every little bit helps. Hey, this is moralgamer signing off, and I'm actually going to repost this full playthrough as Frost, just without my commentary. So watch for that as well. Happy gaming.
You're no Captain Cold. I outrank him.